I think one of the reasons that a lot of people struggle with carnivore, eating the carnivore lifestyle, is because the solution is so simple. Just eat meat primarily, beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. In my case, you could say that modern society has probably trained most of us to on our current diet regimen, and it's hard for people to come to grips with the fact that that may not be the right path, and that changing to something even simpler is borderline dangerous. I mean, it's drilled into us. Constant variety, a certain regimen of eating so many times a day, eat all of the groups of foods that you can possibly find. Some of them are actually natural, and some of them are quite not quite so natural, if you know what I mean. And so, some people actually do pretty good transitioning into a carnivore lifestyle, and yet others really struggle with it. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Hi guys, my name is Luke. I'm Captain Carnivore. Thanks for dropping by. Please like and subscribe and all that cool stuff. Let's get into it. So the first thing we got to do is understand simplicity. I mean, in eating, to be specific. I mean, there's a lot less decision making. I just took out a couple of burger patties from the freezer. That didn't take very much thought. I mean, I do the same thing 6.5 out of 7 days of the week. So, establishing the fact that what you eat on a daily basis does not have to be overly complex, doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to go to the fast food place. You don't have to really do any of those things. It's very, very simple. I mean, it's easier to shop for, easier to prep. I mean, what isn't there to like? For me, the less decisions I have to make on a daily basis, the easier my life gets. And I love that. I mean, it boils down to that simplicity equals sustainability. And you're probably not going to reach sustainability unless you incorporate having a simple system in place. And that's what the carnivore lifestyle is to me. Now I know that a lot of people struggle with, food addiction in general. And I succumb to this too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's emotional eating. There's all kinds of eating disorders, social conditioning. I mean, what do you do in a social setting? There's details to these dynamics that, I certainly don't pretend to have any of the answers to. I just had to find how I had to deal with them for my routine in order to maintain a sustainable carnivore lifestyle. And I'm assuming that everybody else is going to have to do the same thing. And your path may be different than mine. And that is not only okay, it's mandatory, because I can tell you, not everybody's going to want to take or can or should take the path I've taken. So a lot of people really aren't fighting hunger. They're probably fighting just bad habits or downright carb addiction. And those are big things to overcome. But in order to alter a lifestyle, you have to. I mean, it's a huge change. They call it a lifestyle because a lifestyle is something you set out on for the rest of your life, in my opinion. So if you're going to change, probably doesn't come easy. So transferring or transitioning, I should say, to a carnivore lifestyle when all your life, like for me example, all of my life, I've eaten the what's been called the standard American diet. And that's what I thought you did until I came to the conclusion, the realization that that's not for me. So, but it was a transition in lifestyle, and it takes effort. It takes effort. Of course, it takes a lot of effort when the modern culture has conditioned us and also continually tells us via advertising, just walking into a grocery store, and you're inundated with perfectly lined aisles, easy access to all of the quote-unquote food that they really want you to buy and eat, for your own health. The decision to transfer over to a carnivore lifestyle really is it's predicated on simplifying my life, and obviously there's a lot of health benefits, and I attribute to my recovery from being an alcoholic to my carnivore lifestyle. That was a huge influence, and a huge success for it. But the sheer fact of simplifying my daily routine, I don't take lightly. I'm 55 years old, so the older I get, the more valuable my time is. I'm still working, and so anytime that I can gain extra time in my day, and especially when it comes to food prep, let me tell you, food preparation all in itself, not to mention just the deciding factor of what you're going to eat and all the different ingredients, and if you're going to use a recipe or not use a recipe, it's a bunch of noise. And I like fine-tuned things, not necessarily a bunch of noise. And carnivore lifestyle is a fine-tuned thing because it's simple. It's not noisy, if you know what I mean. Staying motivated with eating this way, I'm not going to lie to you, it comes and goes. But the one factor that really helps get me through is the routine factor. I mean, when things become routine, almost happens naturally, almost happens without thinking. And that's kind of the sweet spot. That's where things are really, really cool, because when things are routine and they become second nature, then you're on the right path to sustainability. That's where the rubber meets the road, and you're able to go the long way. Not a diet that's designed to carry you for 6 weeks so you can lose 3 pounds to fit into a pair of pants in order to gain 18 pounds on the 7th to 8th week, if you know what I mean. I mean, the goal of eating isn't all about the excitement of what you get to eat. Don't get me wrong. I get excited about eating every day. But the goal is, let's not forget, the goal is sustainability. So I don't use eating food as a factor of gaining certain levels of pleasure during the day. A lot of people will eat for pleasure. That's why everything tastes absolutely so good. None of it's going to get you full. None of it's going to be really overly healthy, if at all. But it's going to taste so good. And yet, our taste is one of our senses. And in my personal opinion, as we were developing into the modern day human, and of course back in the ancient days, I suppose, the senses were designed to keep us alive, not to provide us daily pleasures. Don't get me wrong, they do both. But the sense of taste is now 99.9% just used to give the body pleasure. I look at it as it does that, but fundamentally, it was used to keep us alive. You grab up something off the ground, or you killed something, or you find something that's been killed, or whatever, pick out a root out of the ground, pop it in your mouth, and if it has a repulsive taste, which you may even find out before you pick it up that it has a repulsive sight to it, or a smell, the last thing you want to do is put it in your mouth. That's your body telling you, like, hey, it looks like death is probably going to bring you death. Don't do it. So there's survival mechanisms. Now, that's kind of going off track a little bit, but the point is that the taste that people don't have that problem of, for the most part, of eating something that's going to kill them because they don't know what it is. It's killing them, but it's not going to do it in the next 8 hours normally. It's doing it slowly over a period of time, which is also sinister and dangerous. But it's doing it by tasting with food that tastes too good. Finally, I've come to the conclusion that there's a lot of people that are just exhausted, emotionally, physically, and there's a lot of dietary noise out there. I mean, everybody's got a solution. Oh, look at you. You've got this issue. You've got this problem. Boy, we have, and then all of a sudden, everybody with an opinion comes in, and you get sensory overload. There's stimulus to the max of you need to do this, not do that, all of this stuff. And some people need that, which is fine, but it's a lot of noise. I'm talking about for me. And so it's difficult. It's difficult to tell somebody what you're doing because obviously, I'll give you an example. Men are problem solvers. So, not to get crazy here, but when women talk to each other, they're not trying to solve each other's problems. They're doing the right thing and they're listening to each other. Men, on the other hand, you tell somebody a problem, man, they're going to have a solution for you because we're problem solvers. We're solution creators. Oftentimes, just being respectful for other people's positions, in my opinion, goes an absolute long ways. I want to close with what I always say. The world's a dumpster fire. Let's just be honest. Love your family. Take care of your spouse. Take care of yourself. Take care of your immediate family. Watch over your neighbors. And for God's sake, don't pay too much attention to what's going on in the world in the sense that you think you might have some valuable input to change things. Nobody has the ability to change anything. That's what's going on. You have to focus on what we have control of. And one thing that we have control of is our diet. And that is a grossly underestimated superpower that we all have that some of us never use, is controlling our diet. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. My name's Luke, Captain Carnivore. I appreciate it. Hey, please like and subscribe. It means the world to me. And I've had a good influx of support in the last couple of weeks. Thank you to everybody that has liked and subscribed and notifications. All the YouTube stuff that I don't really know a whole lot about. You guys are pulling through. Thank you so much. We're going to catch you on the next one. See you later.